Okay, so the Fallen One was originally a god of light who was cast down, and he's now a god of darkness, and he's the main antagonist in the novel. Originally, when the High God created the universe, he created 4 gods of light and 4 gods of darkness. And when this happened, they were allowed to come down to the mortal plane and do battle. Eventually, one of the gods of light, Leo, fell in love with one of his paladins and turned him into a seraph. And so they had their little secret relationship for a while, until one of the gods of darkness, Zyzax, found out about it and corrupted the seraph and turned him into this really ugly, mindless monster just to mess with Leo. And so Leo demanded that Zyzax come down to the mortal plane and answer for his crimes, and they fought for 3 solid days, tore up the landscape, just ripped apart the mortal plane, and finally Leo gets the upper hand, kills Zyzax, and just strikes him down to the earth, and it left this big pit that's still there today. And so then there were 4 gods of light and 3 gods of darkness. And because the balance was upset, the High God cast Leo down to become a new god of darkness, and he became the Fallen One. And then he took one of the other gods of darkness and made him the god of balance, or the Gray God. And then that's when the High God left and said that the Gray God would run things from then on out, and so he initiated the pact that they couldn't be on the mortal plane anymore. And so they're all stuck on the divine plane with each other, and nobody likes the Fallen One now. His old companions, the gods of light, hate him because he failed and was cast down, and his new companions, the gods of darkness, hate him because he's not really one of their own. And so he's super bitter by the point that the broken pact happens, and he really wants to change up the status quo. So he makes his own move without the help of anybody else at first, because he's just been waiting for like the last 1,000 years to set things right in his own mind because he's been wronged. The gods of darkness are a little different than the gods of light. They don't necessarily directly interact with humans. They do in subtle ways. They try to influence people to be evil, to steal and kill and that kind of thing. And people kind of do that on their own, so they don't necessarily need that nudge, but sometimes it happens and they'll drive people crazy or make them evil. But mostly what they do is corrupt people that are already evil, and when you get kicked out of the communities of light and you get sent out into the wilderness, the gods of darkness will then turn you into an accursed, which is basically a walking corpse with swords for hands, and you're just a mindless servant of theirs at that point, and they kind of control what you do. And then they take some of those and turn them into demons, which are like dark paladins. And they don't really communicate with them directly. It's always through their herald, who tells all their forces what to do. But as of the time of the novel, for the most part, the gods of darkness have stopped dealing with their own forces directly. They just have quit caring altogether, so they haven't even paid attention to what their servants have been doing. They've kind of just been off in their own world. And they still occasionally try to influence people to be evil, but people that are already evil and that have joined their side, basically, they actually don't care about anymore. Yes, the Herald is a significant character in the story because he didn't like not having any direction, and so the Fallen One contacted him and said, I have a plan for us to wipe out the light side. And so he fell into that really quickly because that's his entire purpose. And when his leaders basically said, we don't care about the war anymore, he was left without a purpose. And so when the Fallen One contacted him, he immediately jumped aboard. And so his main goal is to run around and gather all their armies so that they can attack the City of Light secretly, and he makes a point to try to target the Seraph in the story and try to kill her because she's like his opposite, and so that's kind of his main nemesis as he sees it. And the other job that he has is awakening the divine beasts, which were these really powerful monsters that fought in the early part of the war, and the god of balance imprisoned them all. And when his seals start to fade, they can be woken up, and the herald goes around waking them up so that they have like a secret weapon.